Hi, guys. Thank you for tuning in to the show again. For all the new listeners, my name is Giovanna and I'm the founder of bumperleads.com. We are a marketing automation agency that helps 6 and 7-figure businesses simplify and automate their sales and marketing systems to save them time and money. Today, we are continuing the topic of marketing. Of course, I'm interviewing James Parnwell, who is the founder of the OnlineCo, a digital marketing agency that puts people first. That's their focus. And in today's show, James and I will discuss, should you outsource your digital marketing or keep it in-house? We see this quite a lot of people going back and forth, bringing it in-house, outsourcing, and why does that happen? If you're working with an agency already, we'll also talk about how to actually have a great partnership with an agency and how to make that partnership work. And also we talk about whether marketing can fix cash flow issues only for businesses that have been impacted by the pandemic. And sometimes we also like to geek out on technology a bit. So if you're listening all the way through to the end, we talk about how easy it can be to do Google AdWords and lose money if you don't know what you're doing. So hopefully you enjoyed the show today. And if you did, please leave us a 5-star review. Cool, thanks. Let's get started. Before we tune into the show, I wanted to let you know about a free resource you can download from our website. If you're someone who is looking for more time in the day and some clever ways to boost your revenue this year, then you'll find our resource super helpful. It's a short checklist you can download to quickly identify which tasks you're doing now in your business which could be performed by a techie automation. For example, the repetitive tasks such as sending a confirmation email to a customer could be automated. Even some of the manual tasks you have as part of business operations could be performed automatically, saving you over 10 hours a week. Imagine all the fun things you could be doing in your business once you automate all those boring tasks. So to download this resource, just go to bumperleads.com/tasks. Hi everyone, it's Giovanna again, and thank you so much for joining the Fall in Love with Your Business Again podcast. I'm super excited to be interviewing James Parnwell from the OnlineCo digital marketing agency. James started the OnlineCo about 12 years ago, and over the years, he's built a highly skilled team of digital marketers across SEO, Google Ads, and social media. He is super passionate about helping small and medium businesses grow through digital marketing. And what I love about the OnlineCo and James is their philosophy. Their philosophy is about putting people first. And it's very rare to find sometimes in the digital marketing world that agencies actually put people first or their clients first. But I love the idea. And we've been working with James now for a long time. And we really love working with them. So I wanted to have him on the show today to talk about all the things about that we need to know about digital marketing and how it can help us grow our businesses. Welcome, James.
Thank you, Giovanna. Real pleasure to be here.
So can you tell us more about your background? Because you've spent quite a long time in the digital marketing and things change almost on a monthly basis in our world. Tell me more how you got started in digital marketing.
Yeah, well, I might go back a bit further than that. I did a marketing degree in the 90s, and I'm showing my age now. 3 years between 94 and 96 studying marketing before digital even existed. So we're still 3 years out from Google even being founded. And so back in that time, we're really talking fundamentals around the psychology of customers, around things like economics, supply chains, all this sort of stuff. So I got to the end of that and really enjoyed it. I just genuinely interested me. And it's a funny thing how you can learn something theoretically and still really have no idea how to do it. It's like you can read a recipe, but can you actually bake the cake? And I kind of spent 3 years reading recipes and then got out in the real world and realized, well, I got a head full of ideas, but no actual practical application in my hands. And so I actually started running businesses. I started a few businesses over the next few years. My first one was a guitar teaching school.
Wow.
So did that for a few years.
So you can play the guitar?
Yeah.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Oh, there you go. We'll have to have a chat about that on another podcast. Yeah. Yeah. And it's just really cutting my teeth, learning how to hire people, do sales, what marketing should I do, the operations, just all the bits and pieces of what was a micro business. And I did hire a couple of people and then sold it after a while. And over the years, digital became more and more of a thing, and I ran other businesses. And then by 2009, I was sort of at a point where I was ready to do something new, and an opportunity came along, basically to subcontract to a guy. And I learned Google Ads at that point. And I went to him and I said, look, I've got a fair bit of business experience and marketing experience, but I don't know anything about digital. I don't know anything about Google Ads. And so I got in then. And so the people first thing kind of arises out of that, because marketing isn't a technology. Marketing's a way of communicating with people. And you need to use the technology to do that. But the technology is just a vehicle, in the same way that radio ads was a vehicle back in it still is, I suppose, but we don't do as much of that. Putting signs on the side of buses is another vehicle. But ultimately we're talking to people. And so when we get all hooked up on, hey, we need to do Google Ads and we need to get the keywords right, and you so quickly get your eyes off the real human being sit on the other side of that device, and guess what? Your marketing starts to stink very quickly. So, I guess there's a lot of highly technical skilled people, computer programmers and that sort of stuff, and marketing is maybe 50% technical and then 50% understanding people, maybe psychological, maybe there's a bit of art in there as well, like creativity. So that's how we got to this point, and then just started consistently growing over the years to where we are now today. So it's been 12 years, ridden all sorts of waves throughout there of the different technologies and all the changes in SEO algorithms, and even in 2009, Facebook was really only just kind of at its tipping point in Australia. I think it was probably 2008. I joined in 2007, but it was sort of 2007, 2008 was starting to tip, and then was really mainstream maybe by 2010, 11. So don't quote me on the exact numbers, but, Instagram didn't exist at that point, let alone Snapchat and all of those guys. TikTok's only a couple of years old. So many changes. And to be honest, I think intellectually that's very stimulating, that the changes keep it interesting. I don't know how I'd cope being, if I just installed, toilets every day, and it's the same thing every day. I think I would go a bit batty. But the team often complain, hey, Facebook just changed its entire dashboard, the thing that I've used for the last 5 years every day. I can't find it. They've moved it somewhere.
Where can I find this file?
Yeah, it's gone. And anyway, off hunting, and of course, you can't go search and get someone to tell you where it is. It's like you've got to go and find it yourself. Yeah. But sure, there's a bit of irritation there, but mostly it's a joy, I think.
Yeah, I mean, this morning I was because we use Google for business. Now they've rebranded to Google Workspace. Used to be G Suite. Yep. And my whole Google for G Drive for desktop gone. And why? Who? Is it because of the Microsoft update, or was it the Google Workspace update? Yeah. I cannot use my drive that I normally have used now for the last 5 years. Yeah. Now I have to relearn.
Relearn, all those sort of learned behaviours, all the automatisms that are gone. Yeah, got to start again.
And this is us, we both of us work in this game, we're kind of both tech savvy, and we've got this systems mindset, and we've got the marketing mindset. Can you imagine a business owner trying to grapple with all of this?
Well, I mean, that's close to impossible. I mean, if I use the example of building toilets. I mean, if you're a plumber and you've got contracts and you're building houses, and you've got guys out there on site, and you've got an office full of people, you're busy. And the idea that you're going to be on top of 6 different platforms and the updates and the nuance in that, it's not possible.
We have seen clients who have tried outsourcing and something doesn't work, and then they've tried in-house and they quickly realized, oh, great. Now I have to be an SEO expert. I have to be a social media expert. I have to be a TikTok expert now.
Right.
Like social media in itself is a very general field. So yeah, things are changing very quickly. And then on top of that, you have to be a sales and marketing expert and a business, your product, you love.
Yeah, you've actually got a product or service to sell, don't you? Like you've actually got to do that, the core of your business. In our SEO team, there's 7 people, and they all have specialties. Probably the only person that can do everything is Rich, but everybody else will have a specialty. And the skill it takes to write good content is so different to the skill it takes to work within WordPress and design websites and build pages. They're completely different. And then for the technical side of SEO, you need someone who's skilled at HTML, CSS, etc. But for the content, you need someone who's good at words. Then for backlinking, you need someone who's kind of able to outreach and email people and get in contact. And then there's a whole kind of user experience. You need someone who's graphically skilled. So there's almost like 4 people. And I sometimes see these on LinkedIn or something. They say, I'm a SEO, social media, Facebook, Instagram, Google Ads, Pinterest expert. And I'm going, you're not a unicorn. You don't exist.
Unicorns exist.
Well, this person's claiming. I mean, they're jack of all trades. And when you're saying, I'm going to bring somebody into my business, I'm going to hire somebody to look after my digital marketing. Well, I don't have one person in our business who could do all of that. We have people that understand it, but not everybody can execute. And I guess there's 3 levels here, right? There's the strategy. How am I going to achieve business goals by talking to the right people at the right time with the right message? That's step 1. Then there's the tactics, SEO, Facebook, YouTube, Google Ads, LinkedIn, Instagram, etc., email marketing, etc. Then there's the execution. So within all of them, there's a different dashboard. There's different ways of working. There's different ways of reporting and measuring. We don't have a unicorn in our business that knows all of that.
Bummer.
Yeah, well, yeah, we have experts in each individual area. So what people do is they hire us, and they essentially hire for maybe 5 hours a month somebody who can do one piece plus another person who can do this piece. And one guy said to us just last week, he said, it just occurred to me that the amount I pay to you guys is about the same as a part-time employee, but that part-time employee couldn't do everything you do. So it ends up being, and the amount he pays us is, probably less than 50% of a staff member. But he's getting all of his marketing done by experts who give him a few hours a month, and it gets executed correctly.
It gets done correctly, exactly. And that's exactly what we need to do in marketing, is pretty much do it. Because a lot of businesses that we meet, they all just talk about it. Sometimes you just have to execute and do it, and it's easy to hire someone, especially the experts who do this day in, day out. And we meet, obviously we have mutual clients that we work with, and that's because our agency is all about one specific niche, which is marketing automation. And then people ask us, can you help me with Facebook advertising? Well, can you help me with SEO? Can you guys create websites? I could do it, but I could just imagine myself going through the whole process of doing social media or marketing, and I would just run and hide because that's not my superpower. And I don't want to be in that game because, as you said, you need a big team like your agency. You need to invest in your team, and you have over 20.
Yeah, roughly 20 people.
20 people. So to get to that stage and be in that game, like it is a very, it's special. And you're basically getting value for money, really, as a business owner, but going through an agency to a partner. What type of clients do you typically help?
Yeah, so I think the ABS, the Australian Bureau of Statistics, will divide businesses up from micro, small, medium, and large. So micro's generally got less than 5 staff. and then a small will have sort of 5 to 25. The definitions, I've looked this up many times, and the definitions change. So small, some people might say small is 5 to 50, but let's say it's 5 to 25, and then 25 to 100 is medium, and then sort of above that, you're looking at the bigger side. Most of our clients will fit in small, so maybe 5 to 25, and medium, so 25 to 100. Not exclusively. We have some micros, and we have some corporates. I really enjoy working with business owners. I find that very satisfying. Maybe it's a mum and dad who are, genuinely doing their best to provide a product or a service, and they've got a team around them, and they've built it up over 10 years, and they bring us on, and we kind of get them.
Passionate.
Yeah, they're passionate about their business, and we're passionate about helping them with their business. And I mean, in a business, there's five functions, isn't there? There's operations, there's finance, there's people, there's sales, and there's marketing. So you need to have them all done. And most people will outsource the finance piece, or at least a chunk of it. You'll have an accountant and a bookkeeper. You might handle payroll yourself or bank bills yourself, but you'll outsource that piece. You generally don't outsource your operations. You might outsource a bit of your HR, and you're not going to outsource your sales, but outsourcing your marketing to actually have a partner really makes a lot of sense, in the same way that outsourcing finance does, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Having a strategic partner in marketing, because most of the time, I think there's a client that comes to mind that outsources. I don't know if this is the right way to outsource, but their mindset is, I'll give it to you. Here's the keys to the business, to my business, but you're responsible for it. And then if things don't go per plan, on whatever the plan was, the business owner thinks, oh, okay, that partner doesn't work for me. I need to find another partner. So I think business owners do need to have some responsibilities when they are.
Well, you've used the word partner there. And any partnership has two sides. Like, to be a partner, there's you plus the other person.
Yeah.
And kind of, I guess that's the concern with the word outsourcing. It's very non-personal, isn't it? It's like, I'm just going to abdicate this job to you, and then you do it. And if you're not good enough, I'll just abdicate it to someone else. One of our OnlineCo values is partnership. And so what we're really looking to do is to form long-term, mutually beneficial relationships with people where we're invested in their business, but they're invested in helping us help their business too. And it's, I guess, we were just talking about a client yesterday who's really engaged and active and interested and asks a lot of questions, and they really get the best out of us. Their campaigns are really successful, and that's a big factor. Of course, there's the clients who are too busy, don't reply to emails for 2 weeks. We can still do our best, but there's another 20% that they could have, and it's not going to cost us another minute. It's just they've given us just that nuanced feedback we need to create better campaigns. But we've come up with a system where we don't take clients on unless we do an upfront piece of work called a playbook.
Oh, yes.
And it's like a 40, 50-page, 12-month marketing plan, digital marketing plan. And so it takes us 3 or 4 weeks, and we spend a fair bit of time with the client across that time, and we're building partnership right from day one. So we understand them and they understand us, and they know what 12 months is going to look like. They know what all the investment, all the strategies, all the detail. They know what their industry looks like. They know what their own unique brand voice should be. And then they go, right, we know what we're going to do. We know who's going to do it. And then roll that out over 12 months. And what often happens is, if people are not really interested in partnership, they're just looking for a body to do the work, they sometimes don't go with us. They'll go with someone else. And we're actually fine with that, because one of our values is partnership. So if people are just need a function fulfilled, then no worries, good luck.
Do you get people who come to you and say, I don't feel passionate about my business, or I hate my business, or can you fix it?
I don't think anyone's ever used those words. There is a vibe you get from some people around maybe they're in trouble, or maybe maybe there's some difficulties, and they're looking to marketing to fix that. And the difficulty could be a cash flow issue, for example. They might be stressed because there's no cash. And they think that marketing is going to bring in all the sales and it'll fix the cash flow problem, but there's probably an underlying finance issue there that we're not going to fix. And if anything, if you're spending money on us, you might actually make it worse because you haven't fixed the root cause. And I think if someone's looking for us as their saviour, I'm not sure that's a very good partnership to be in. Yeah, that's putting a lot of responsibility on.
Yeah.
And we can do great marketing, but we can't close the sales because what marketing does is creates leads, right? And we had a client once. We got them over the course of a couple of months, like 170 leads, I think it was. And they came to us and they said, we haven't closed any of these sales. We'll have to stop. We're like, well, what were you doing with the leads? And they was like, we'd get the leads and then we'd just email them a price list. I'm like, you spent all this money on marketing and you didn't talk to your leads? What? So, I mean, we can only do, out of those 5 functions I described, we can fix one. And fixing one's not enough to fix the other 4.
That's funny. Yeah, it's funny that people don't understand what the value, like what they're spending, the investment they're making, and how to optimize that investment. So sometimes having a lot of leads is not really good.
No.
You need to qualify them. Who is the right lead? Are you attracting the right lead? So maybe you need to think about branding and other pieces of marketing that not necessarily just revolve around getting a lead on from Facebook. Yeah.
We have had clients who we've gotten a lot of leads from. They're like, I don't really have time to talk to these people. Like, can we do something else? Well, I mean, if their business, if their growth appetite is small, they know they need marketing. They're smart business people, but their growth appetite is small. Well, then they don't want hundreds of leads, do they? They want a nice steady stream, or even a trickle sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, you want it to be predictable, I think, as a business owner. You want to have some kind of system in place to predict the number of leads you're going to get every month, and then you start to measure and qualify those leads. And so, yeah, it kind of shocks me that you said that, you're sending all these leads and they're just, passing the buck or just sending a price list. So it just sounds like they don't value the leads.
Yeah, they had a staff problem there. The staff member wasn't really doing the right thing. But, yeah, there's so many complexities in the business.
Okay. Can you tell me, because this is all about helping business owners fall in love with their business again. How do you think marketing can help them do that?
I think marketing's a really wonderful kind of puzzle. When you're trying to figure out what it is about what you do that people love, and then if you can find the thing that people love about you and then broadcast that through marketing, I don't know, this is just a real joy in sharing something that you've built that's meaningful with other people. In our final episode of season 1 of our podcast, we talked about 9 things we learned. And everybody was saying, we didn't really do any marketing to start with. It was all word of mouth. And we're going, that is marketing. Word of mouth is marketing. Just because you didn't spend money on it, it's not advertising, it's marketing. And what's happened is somebody's had a good experience with you and they've told somebody else about that experience. So you've done something good. What's that good thing you've done? How is it that you've made their life better or resolved a stress, solved a problem, it improved their world somehow with whatever it is you've done? And that can be all sorts of things, from financial services to buying presents for your kids. It can be anything, right? But people have a good experience and then they tell other people about them. What is that thing? It's a really joyful journey to find that thing and then say, all right, let's talk about that on Facebook. Let's talk about that on Instagram. Let's make sure our website sort of shares that joy as well. And then you start attracting more of the right people because you're talking the right thing and that unique thing that you do. And I guess there's definitely we all suffer from the kind of keeping up with the Joneses thing. right? The guy down the road's got a brand new lawnmower and his lawn looks amazing, so I better look after my lawn a bit. That's where that phrase comes from. The Joneses live down the road and their house is better than mine. Well, we do this in business, right? We go, that competitor's really doing well. I could tell all their marketing's so amazing, and then we want to copy them. Whereas what's unique about them is probably not what's unique about you. And if you copy them, well, they're already them and they're already doing a pretty good job at them. So, like, you're now second-hand version of them. Well, that's no good. Yeah, you could be the very first version of you. And uniqueness is so important in marketing. What is it that's unique about you? Like, a lot of people in our industry talk about results, performance, leads, sales, and we're talking about people. We know that the results come when you understand people. But if you come to us with a hard-nosed, get me sales, get me business, we're like, I don't even really like that style of business. There's other agencies that'll help you. So we've based our thing around people first. That's what's unique about the OnlineCo. That's what April and I are passionate about. We started a family business and we employ lots of family people because people matter to us. And so then that comes out of what we do. The world doesn't need another one of our competitors. They need the OnlineCo to be who we are. So I guess that's all fairly philosophical, but out of that philosophy will then come your messaging. What is it that I'm saying? Who is it I'm saying it to? And how do I say it at the right time? And then you go, all right, now I know what to post on Instagram. And I know what pages I should have on my website. I know who I'm talking to, and I know the tone I should, and that becomes a brand. There's so much more authentic than branding being, well, I like purple. Purple's a nice colour. And this font really makes me feel nice. I guess as a business owner, you want to get out of bed and do something that is meaningful.
Yeah, you want to
get to the end of the day and say, I did something good. I helped people, and in that process, I'm getting to my own goals, and I'm on my own journey as well. So there's this win-win. We really feel like when we form a long-term partnership with someone, we're helping them grow their business, and that's helping grow our business. Everybody wins. That's wonderful.
That's why I love working with you guys, because of that. It's the belief of partnerships and putting people first, putting customers first. I know that we have mutual clients as well, and they're just resonating. Everything that you've just mentioned is that they share the same values, and it just makes things easy when you work with them. The results come easy.
Yeah, the results happen, absolutely. To me, it's about people first, results second. Possibly other people are results first, people second, and that's fine. You do you, but that doesn't really work for me.
How are you guys finding now with the pandemic that we have? Obviously, it has upset or disrupted the way we work. It disrupted the digital marketing, or I don't know if it has improved it, but it's always changing and dynamic. And I come across a lot of businesses that are now thinking about going online. And if you go back 10 years ago, I think we all had to go and sell this idea of going online.
Yeah.
Now people are obviously being conditioned. They're educated through other means. They go, I think I need to take my physical shop and convert that into a website. And then I need to learn how to find clients or leads and how to do the same thing I was doing in my physical shop.
Well, so we're 18 months into a pandemic, and probably at the start there was an awful lot of shock and fear and panic. But now we're kind of used to the idea, and people probably thinking this might not be going away for a while. I mean, I don't have a crystal ball, but we're looking at years, I would imagine, of whatever this looks like. And so people are going, I need to be more active online. And it's funny because we've used Zoom for years and years and years, and then all of a sudden Zoom's this household name. It's like, but it's true because people are. Who was I talking to yesterday? I think it was a friend of ours. It was a team member who had dinner with their families online, and they all ordered like Uber Eats for each other, so they didn't know what they were getting. And they all sat down on Zoom and had dinner together. They're all in lockdown. So like people are just coming up with unique ways of maintaining their relationships and having fun, but not physically in person. And the same's in business, right? How do we continue to do business online? My observation at this point is that there's a sort of cautious uptick in the need for digital marketing. I think cautious because we don't quite know how long lockdown's going to go for and whether there's going to be another one in 3 months or what the Delta strain means. But an uptick because they're going, yeah, online and digital's not only here to stay, it's becoming mandatory. Do it or die. So that would be my observation at this point.
My observation is that digital helped Jeff Bezos go into space. So time to hone in on some Amazon skills.
Yeah.
But you guys also offer training as well. You used to. I don't know if you still do, but
yeah. So we have some on-demand workshops. So we did a series of workshops last year, and we recorded a couple. And what we wanted to do in 2020 was to help as many small businesses as we could, but probably mostly micro businesses, with free digital marketing training. So there's a series. I think there's 4 on-demand workshops that we recorded. So one for SEO, one for Google Ads. There's a social posting one, which is Facebook and Instagram, and a paid social one, which is Facebook and Instagram as well, but the paid side. So there's 4 there. And really what the team did was shared their workflow. So it's just kind of giving away our IP, saying this is how we do it. And 2 things happen there. People go, awesome, I'm on, I can do this. And other people go, oh my goodness, this is complicated, I can't do this. And so different people at different stages of their business cycle will adopt the recommendations from there differently. I actually recommend, if you're just starting out, that you should probably do some of your SEO, some of your social media yourself, Google Ads. You should do some of those things yourself, not to become an expert at it, but to become literate at it. So when you go and hire someone, you then understand what they're doing and you can hire someone well. And you're also going to get a much better gut feel for your marketing on what works and what doesn't than someone who's just said, hey, hire someone. The real issue is that when you first start, you have more time than you have money. So I think you should invest some of that time into your marketing. And then once you grow, and the rule of thumb is probably at sort of 5 people, you've probably got the turnover, and you're busy enough with other things that it really makes sense to
you
get,
have proof
to
of
get
concept,
some help in.
really.
Yeah, well, that's true as well. I talked about word of mouth. It's possible when you first started, you don't have any word of mouth yet at all. And it might take you months or even years to figure out that unique special thing that people are sharing. It took us a while. Like, I think that's quite normal. You're almost going mining for gold, trying to find that seam of gold that's in you there somewhere.
Yeah, like a mentor of mine said, when I was starting out, I spent over 12 years in the corporate world working in procurement and supply chain, and then I had to learn marketing. When I bought my first business, I always thought marketing was something fluffy, something like graphic design and colors and fonts like we talked about, but it is so much more. It is almost as if it took me back to my science days, because I used to love physics.
Yeah, me too.
In biology, I was a geek. I was topping in the class in human biology in my high school days, and then marketing comes in and says, "Oh, now you have to test and measure, and then change this image, and put this title, and then see what the results you get, and then try this and try." So every day you're improving, you're changing, you're doing something new, and you're learning about your business. And a mentor of mine said, when I started in the marketing automation space, is, Giovanna, as you're starting, I think I had like one client I was negotiating hard, and he said, for you to get the confidence, you need to build a relationship with your results. I need to get more results on my board, and then I'll be more confident as a sales in selling and in building and being confident in talking to clients about marketing automation. So true.
Makes a lot of sense.
So do you guys still do the free training?
Yeah, so those on-demand workshops are available, and you can just watch them, and they're free. We then do, you can buy an hour with one of our experts. So sometimes the next step is just, all right, can you apply these broad concepts that you learned in the workshop to me, and by spending an hour with one of our team members. So that's paid, but much cheaper than like a monthly package. It's a one-off sort of kickstart. And some people will do like three hours, like three of them or whatnot. And then the next level is, coming and doing a playbook with us, which is really planning out what 12 months worth of marketing looks like, doing competitor analysis, doing voicing, figuring out your path to purchase, and then what's your search strategy, what's your social strategy, what's your nurture strategy, and then how does this execute over 4 quarters of the 12-month plan. So that's where most people work with us at that level.
So because we do have a global audience. I know you're based in Sydney, Australia, and we have clients, so audience listeners from US and even Japan. I've seen.
Right.
Europe, all over Europe as well. And so they could basically just go to your website and sign up to one of these trainings, and they can do them at their own pace. And then if they want to talk to you one-on-one, you help people globally. You have some.
Yeah, the only issue is time zones. The team don't really want to be doing training at midnight. So one of our other values is family. So I want to make sure we're respectful of their time. But yeah, if the time zones work, then absolutely.
Fantastic. So is there anything else that you think you want to share that I haven't asked you?
Just on a practical level, that you need to get your strategy, your tactics, and your execution right. We all talk about tactics all the time, like SEO this and Google Ads that. So we're talking about one of the three. The first question should be about people. How do we talk to our people? The right people at the right time with the right message. That's the first question. The second question should be, what tactics do we use? Which tactics should we do? And sometimes there's tactics you should not be doing. Google Ads, for example, is like the best and the worst tactic out there. For some business, it's absolutely incredible that people spending tens of thousands of dollars a month for the last 10 years, turning it into solid return on investment, and it's really wonderful. For other people, we say to them, you shouldn't do this. Wow. It's not going to work for you. So there's just an example of, hey, just because it's out there doesn't mean you should do it. Because after tactics is then execution. And how is that going to work day to day? I don't think there's a single listener here that doesn't know how to post on Facebook or Instagram. That's not hard. What's hard is doing it 5 days a week, week after week, month after month, year. That's hard. Finding the time to do that, creating it something that's interesting, and having a bunch of unique posts that don't all sound the same. That maybe there's something that's newsy, or something that's motivational, or something that's content rich, or even a joke. Like that process of execution is hard. But if you haven't got your strategy right, then you're probably not going to choose the right tactics. Then your execution is going to be wrong, and it all flows down. So I guess we've built all of our services around getting them right in that order.
And I was just thinking about your tactics, and you had the example of Google Ads. I mean, I've received Google Ads promotional emails from Google saying, hey, you've got $150 voucher you have to go and claim.
Yeah.
And they make it easy to go, yeah, okay, I'll just take the $150, and now you have to pick this keyword, that keyword, and then thousands of dollars later, you go, where are the clients? Where are the leads coming in?
Yeah. Oh, look, I think Google Ads is like getting a haircut. You can give yourself a haircut if you like. You can do it yourself. You just probably shouldn't. And Google Ads is the same. You can do it yourself. You just probably shouldn't. There's levels of complexity in there that just picking some keywords and writing some ad text is just not enough. I mean, I can give you a couple of examples. One is, what times are your ads showing? Like, it's quite possible that all the leads come through between 9 and 11 in the morning, because that's when people are researching for what you're doing. So you don't want to be showing your ads at 9 o'clock at night. You definitely don't want them showing at 1 a.m., right? People up at night, stressed, looking, costing you money. Then what if everybody's on a phone? They're not on desktop. Well, why are you wasting money on desktop? Just within the keywords, there's different match types. There's broad match, and there's phrase and there's exact. And if you put in broad, you could be attracting all sorts of nonsense clicks from. So it just pulls in broadly relevant terms that are similar. That's a very basic explanation, but you could be just flushing money down the toilet on that. So the execution becomes very important. And that's the simple stuff. The complex stuff that Heidi will get into is the structure of how it's all worked and how your account versus your ad groups and your different campaigns and the way the keywords are spread out amongst them to make sure there's high quality. Like there's some more levels of complexity to make that work.
Oh, yeah.
When it's done right, it's like a fine wine. It just gets better and better each month. And when it's wrong, it's like a very bad wine. It gets worse and worse each month. Still wine, but take your pick.
That's so cool. Yeah, it reminds me when I was in the corporate world and we would have the post-mortem after every project.
Okay.
And I would say every time it's always the implementation. It's always the execute. Why did this go wrong? Why didn't we meet the targets? Why didn't we actually meet our objectives?
Yeah.
And you go and post-mortem every single step and you find it's really the execution. So it's you delivery. It's the delivery side of the business. So the marketing, the strategy, that's another strategy in itself. Yeah. That's another tactic in itself. I'm glad you pointed that out. So it's been amazing talking with you, James.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me.
I'm going to include your website and some social media links in the show notes.
Right. Yeah, look, you can just book a 5-minute chat. You just jump on, fill it out, and just have a 5-minute chat about where you're at, what's the right best next step for you. And for you, it might not be working with an agency. It might be doing some training, but it might be doing a playbook and going through the whole process. We can just direct you onto the next best step for you if you'd like to have a chat with one of our team. And it's not a real sales chat. It's really about what's best for you. So you can jump on and do that.
Awesome. Sounds great. Thank you so much, James.
Thank you, Jovana.